Right, buddy, this is the pre-match press conference for Ruben Amorim's and Manchester United's game against Brighton at home. He's talked about a lot of things. He talked about Ugarte, the need for Rasmus Højlund, Anthony, and his future, the demand from the players. And it actually was a very interesting presser. I think Amorim always speaks like correctly, and I think what he said today, he said, in the game just gone, you come out early for the second half. Has there been a case yet or a game where you've got angry with the players at half time, or you've had to get angry with them? He said, no, I think the best thing to help the players is to be calm, to try to explain what we need to change. Then we will have the time to be angry with them. I think, and I say that today, of course, we didn't play well. First off, we suffered a lot, but then I felt some players were tired, and when they are tired, they are trying, and I have the responsibility to try and help them, sometimes to change them, and that is my part. So I came out before the team because I had Anthony out and I wanted to explain the situation to Anthony and what I need from Anthony to get inside the pitch. That was the only reason. He said on Anthony leaving, like I said, he wants to keep his players and focus on these players. I don't know what's going to happen the window, we'll see, but he did a good job today. Listen, Ruben Amorim is not going to say he wants to sell Anthony. It's obvious that he does. I don't think Anthony's good enough for Manchester United. I mean, the goal that he didn't even score, the goal that he should have scored was very sloppy, and you expect a lot more from Anthony. So, yeah, I'd be happy if he does get sold, to be honest with you. I don't think he is nowhere near good enough for what Manchester United need. He was then asked about the training. He said because he came in with no time to train, do you think it's going to be how it is until the summer, up and down performances, good performances and bad performances, until you can get to the summer and actually have some time with them? Yeah, but I think it's going to be hard until the end of the season. It's going to have to be a little bit of a roller coaster. Then it depends on the end, on the time you have to train, and we start in the cup. We have UEFA games for the Europa League. Then it's important to focus on next Thursday to win and to try and be in the top 8. In that way, you can take 2 games from the schedule and have a full week. So we are trying to do everything at the same time. So we've had like 7 training sessions together in these 14 or 15 games. It's really hard, but we have to continue and try to win. Sometimes playing good, sometimes playing bad. We will try to win games. I mean, the fact that we've had 7 training sessions in the 15 or the 14, 15 games that we played is really eye-opening. And you can see that he just had not enough time to train and not enough time to get his principles in, with the amount of travelling and recovery that players have to do. He's just not had enough time, and that you can understand why we are still having these inconsistent performances. I think from next season we can really see the Ruben Amorim principles being instilled. He will have a lot of time to work with the players in pre-season. He'll bring players in. This season isn't kind of a write-off, but it kind of is at the same time. I think we'll have some good performances. We will see the principles develop, but ultimately he needs a lot of time to work with these players still, because he's not having a consistent run of time. We're having games all the time. He needs to get the players prepared. And yeah, I think it's going to be, and like I said there, it's going to be an up and down season. He said, I appreciate that probably the most demanding and intense league in the world, world football, but if the club bring a 50 million midfielder to the club, do you not expect that he could be able to play every 3 or 4 days? Talking about Ugarte, is it not a concern that he struggles to play back-to-back games in the tight space of time, or is he something he's going to have to learn to get better and adapt? So the players will get used to it. I'm trying to my best with you guys, and I talk openly about the game. And you focus on what I said about Ugarte. Ugarte was tired, maybe did a great job against Liverpool and against Arsenal. And you see it, maybe if you look at the game versus Liverpool, maybe Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes were the best players. Against Liverpool, they were. And I didn't play against Newcastle. I think that's happened with all the players in here. They can play, but they don't play the same way. I think it's an adaptation. Also, it's my fault, because if you lose timing on the pressure, if I don't explain it well, the pressure is always lost in that. And you can feel today, Mateus Fernandes was the number 7, with the number 7, Joe Rebo, creating a lot of problems for Ugarte, because Ugarte is running against 2 guys. So it's more my fault than his fault. He's going to get used to playing every 3 days. Listen, the fact that he said at the end he is going to get used to playing every 3 days, I think Ugarte is going to be one of those players that's undroppable. I think Ugarte is going to be one. I think Euro, when he starts getting fit, will be another one. I think De Ligt's definitely one of them. Obviously, Onan is one of them as well. Mazraoui is one of them. Mainu and Ahmad and Bruno. There's 4 or 5 positions up for rotation every single game, but they are the main players who should start every game, I think. De Ligt, Euro, Mainu, Ugarte, Ahmad, Bruno, and Onana. So that's 4 positions up to grab. That's the left centre back, the left wing back, the inside forward, and the striker. They are the positions mainly being rotated. I think that midfield it's fantastic. Ugarte is really the only 6 that we have, and that's why he would be playing every 3 days. He said, I'm just wondering, talking about the number of games he played in a relatively short space of time, you also talked about hoping to keep certain players. It is difficult to prepare for these games during the transfer window, not necessarily knowing if you will be here still at the end of the month. He said, no, of course, we still have some players, and they are our players, so we have to control on that. We decide on that. Sometimes it's harder for the players because they have some information, and sometimes you can feel it in every team, and every summit is so like that. So for me, it's not hard. It's harder to prepare for the game. When we lose, when we win, we can manage everything. Expectations, a bad mood for some players. So we prepare for the next game in the same way. I'm just focused on the next game. He said, is it lack of current time at Carrington one of the reasons why we struggled a little bit when it comes to set pieces? We conceded obviously another goal. He said everything, but today it was like it seems like it's simple header. So sometimes you are in the moment and everything is against you, but in the end, things change. You managed to win, but of course we need to improve. We played very good against the best team in the world with Arsenal in set pieces. We did a very good job, and I explained to your colleague the season is going to be like that, and we have to improve all areas of the game. He was then asked, are you concerned about Højlund's lack of goals? He said, I think it's a team problem, and you can see it. It's not just from now, it's from the past. So we clearly have a lack of goals and a lack of threat. When you threaten the opponents maybe don't press you so high. So everything is connected, and all the players have moments in the season. I think when we start this journey together, Rasmus was the player that was always scoring, so he can come back, and next game we will see. But I think it's a more team problem than Rasmus' problem, and that is correct. It's a big team issue. The fact that United are struggling to create chances is a very, very big problem. And the thing is, in a game, Højlund will get maybe 1 or 2 chances. And that's why we're so critical of him, because he has 1 or 2 chances to score. If you look at the top sides, Arsenal, listen, against us, Havertz had, 6-7 chances to score. Haaland gets numerous of chances till eventually he will score. I think it is more of a team issue than a Rasmus Højlund issue. You were talking about investing the reasons being about not being able to play the same level against Arsenal and Liverpool in games like this. Now you have Brighton. Do you think it's maybe because the squad might be a better fit to react them in transitioning rather than taking the lead in matches? He said, I think that is something you can see from the past, and we were in the past a team of transition, and you still are. You can feel it to create chances in the final third. We struggle a lot, but for that, I think it's the most difficult. I say that before the game, it's the most difficult time to train. It's that against a low block, trying to create situations. So I think it's a team that feels more joy to playing, wanting to play in transition, creating problems. So that's something we have to change. To change, we need training, so you have to have time to change, but we also need to win games, and we try to do that. And we're trying to get the balance from winning games and training and improving on the principles. Listen, we are a team in the transition. Under Ten Hag, we didn't really see his principles at United. Ollie, we definitely were. And I think Amorim's way is more control and more probing. And obviously, it's going to be a huge transition. The players are so used to that. And with the limited training, it is going to be difficult. But that's all what he said. I think it's a very good press conference. The storm is coming, he said, and we have to prepare. Thanks for watching.